All right, y'all, welcome to the show. So today we're going to do a deep dive, and I'm going to lay out for you Trump's entire history with Jeffrey Epstein. So there's a great video released by Zateo on this. We're going to watch that and break it down. We also have, look, Trump's hiding something about his health. I'm going to show you some new information that we have on that front where he does not look good, bro. He really doesn't. He's got some swollen ankles. He's wearing like massive amounts of makeup on his hand to try to cover something up. He's falling asleep in public events. So there's something going on there. We're going to talk about that. We also have the anti-Zoran coalition in New York City is a bunch of loser freaks. I can't wait to show you a video I have of them and what they're focused on at the moment. Joe Rogan comes out and tells all about his support for Trump and why he interviewed Trump and helped him out. Then later on, we have Bill O'Reilly humiliating himself, defending Trump's Epstein cover-up. And we have Grok getting $200 million from taxpayers, even after supporting Hitler and calling itself Mecha Hitler. So there's that. And then we also have Trump's polling has imploded even on his best issue. So there's a lot to say about that as well. So you guys know the drill. Everybody, please do me a big favor. Click like, click subscribe, click that bell icon so you get a notification every time a video drops. Thank you to everybody who supports the show on Patreon. We could not do that without you. We are real independent media, never had a conversation with an advertiser, never done an ad read. You guys fund this show from the ground up, $2 a month at a time, $5 a month at a time. So I'm deeply, deeply thankful for that. You could also subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. That link is below if you'd like to help out there and get access to every single interview that we do in totality. And go subscribe to the Corin's World YouTube channel where we drop Kyle and Corin episodes, and we've been doing them live. We just started doing them live, so that's pretty cool. People should definitely check that out. All right, let's get into it. So first of all, shout out to Zateo and to Mehdi Hassan here, because he decided in this moment where MAGA is, they're in trouble a little bit. They're trying to find their bearings, right? Like they know something's up with the Epstein files and Trump. But at the same time, they're still MAGA, they're still in a cult, so effectively they're trying to find a way to blame Pam Bondi or Dan Bongino or Kash Patel and sort of exonerate Trump. But Trump is making it hard to exonerate himself because he cannot stop going out there every day and like berating his own people and lying and saying that Barack Obama wrote the Epstein files. And so they decided over at Zateo, let's do a deep dive and look at the entire history of Trump and Epstein and their friendship. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is glorious. So let's take a look and we'll break it down as we go here.
MAGA is having a crisis of confidence, but it's not over Trump's Medicaid cuts or his mass deportation campaign. They love all of that. What they don't love is that the Trump DOJ is now denying that the late child sex offender and disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein had any kind of quote-unquote client list.
By the way, that's a great point that it hadn't even occurred to me, to be honest, but we're coming off of them passing a bill, the Republicans passing a bill that kicked 17 million people off their health care. And MAGA didn't care. In fact, they supported it. What? What? That's crazy, bro. So that doesn't wake you up, but the Epstein thing, it shows that, I don't know, they're a little off, right? Like that's off. That moral compass is sort of fucked up.
Or that his death was anything other than a suicide. They're mad at Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi, accusing her of incompetence or worse, a cover-up. But how come MAGA is never mad at Trump for, being friends with Jeffrey Epstein, for all his connections to Epstein over the decades? How come they never saw the writing on the wall when Trump got quite prickly and even nervous last year when he was asked on Fox about declassifying a certain set of files?
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
I don't know about Epstein as much as I do the others. Are you kidding me? Trump knows Epstein better than most people on planet Earth. So while MAGA may be obsessed with Pam Bondi and before her, the Clintons, we here at Zateo have got you covered when it comes to Trump and Epstein. Everything you need to know about these two best buddies going back almost 40 years. So here we go. Let's start in 1987. That's when Epstein and Trump's friendship begins. At least that's what Trump told New York Magazine in 2002. By 1990, the two men have officially become neighbors after Epstein buys a mansion in Palm Beach, just 1 mile away from Trump's Mar-a-Lago. According to Roger Stone, Trump once said that Epstein's pool was filled with young girls when he visited, telling Stone that it was nice to see Epstein let the neighborhood kids use his pool.
Oh my God. I didn't know this one. Did you guys know this one? 2019 article, New York Times. Jeffrey Epstein was a terrific guy, Donald Trump once said. Now he's, quote, not a fan. Quote, the swimming pool was filled with beautiful young girls, Mr. Trump later told a Mar-a-Lago member, according to Mr. Stone. How nice, I thought. He let the neighborhood kids use his pool. Oh my God, bro.
In 1992, Epstein and Trump are filmed partying together at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club with cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and chatting about the women around them. That same year, Trump hosted an even more exclusive party at Mar-a-Lago for a, quote, calendar girl competition with just him, Epstein, and almost 30 women. Between 1993 and 1997, Trump flies on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet at least 7 times.
Bro, what? What? One more time. This is crazy. I can't believe what I'm hearing.
In 1992, Epstein and Trump are filmed partying together at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club with cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and chatting about the women around them. That same year, Trump hosted an even more exclusive party at Mar-a-Lago for a, quote, calendar girl competition with just him, Epstein, and almost 30 women.
I didn't know this one either. Did you know this one? Just him and Epstein and 28 girls. Holy shit. And this reminds me also, you guys know this, Trump, he was the owner of, it was either Miss Universe or Miss World competition, the beauty pageant. And Trump openly talked about how I own the competition, so I could just walk into when they're changing in the changing room. I could just walk in, bragging about like voyeuristic, like walking in on them when they're naked to look at that. Like, Jesus Christ. And now I didn't know this one. Trump, Epstein, and 28 girls. Jesus Christ.
Between 1993 and 1997, Trump flies on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet at least 7 times. 7 times, according to flight logs released by Trump's own AG Pam Bondi earlier this year. Now we come to the year 2000, a big year for the dynamic duo. Trump and Epstein are pictured together at Mar-a-Lago, along with Melania, prior to her becoming Trump's third wife, and Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's sidekick, who would later be convicted for child sex trafficking. 2000 was also the year that one of Epstein's most prominent victims, the late Virginia Giuffre, was allegedly recruited into Epstein and Maxwell's sex ring while she was working as a locker room attendant at, wait for it, Mar-a-Lago.
More people need to know that. Trump hired this like homeless young girl, 14 or 15, something like that, to work at Mar-a-Lago. And that is where this girl met Jeffrey Epstein and ended up being sex trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein. Mar-a-Lago was used as a staging ground for fucking Jeffrey Epstein. Oh my God, bro. How do people not... I hope I got some MAGA... I hope some MAGA people are still with us watching this. I know all you lefties and liberals out there are watching this going, yep, we knew it. But MAGA people, come on, stop. It's not Pam Bondi's fault. It's not Dan Bongino's fault. It's not Kash Patel's fault. It's not the Democrats rigged the Epstein files and changed stuff to make us look bad. No, it's just real. Like, this just actually happened.
Allegedly recruited into Epstein and Maxwell's sex ring while she was working as a locker room attendant at, wait for it, Mar-a-Lago. That same year, reporter Michael Corcoran of Maximum Golf magazine documents Trump greeting Epstein, Maxwell, and a young woman accompanying them as they board onto Trump's private jet, along with Trump's family, for a trip to Mar-a-Lago. Trump supporters like to claim that their man had no idea about Epstein's pedophilia. And yet in 2002, in that interview with New York Magazine, Trump describes Epstein as a lot of fun and liking beautiful women almost as much as he did, specifically those, Trump says, on the, quote, younger side.
Bro, could they make it any more obvious? Could they make it any more obvious that this was like a legit bromance, as Jeffrey Epstein himself is on audio tape saying, I was Donald Trump's best friend for over a decade. Bro.
Come 2004, though, Trump and Epstein have a major falling out after going to war over the purchase of a Palm Beach property. Trump ultimately won that battle, selling it off a few years later. Now, in 2008, Epstein is finally convicted for soliciting minors for prostitution, making him an official sex offender. Only... he's granted a non-prosecution agreement signed off on by the U.S. Attorney for Southern Florida, Alex Acosta, who Trump would later hire as his labor secretary.
So, the sweetheart deal that was given to Jeffrey Epstein, even though he was engaged in pedophilia with multiple girls, at his house in Florida, the guy who gave him that sweetheart deal, Trump brings that guy into his administration.
This allowed Epstein to plead guilty to only state, not federal charges, and avoid a possible life sentence. In 2015, Gawker publishes Epstein's infamous Black Book, which Epstein reportedly used to keep track of all his friends and associates. Not only is Donald Trump listed in it, but so is his former wife Ivana, his current wife Melania, and his daughter Ivanka. 2019, Epstein is arrested by the FBI on sex trafficking charges. He's accused of sexually abusing dozens of underage girls. A month later, after being denied bail, Epstein is found dead in his jail cell after dying by suicide. Epstein's death then kickstarts a wave of conspiracy theories, many of which Trump either fuels or refuses to deny.
Do you really think the Clintons are involved in Jeffrey Epstein's death? I have no idea. I know he was on his plane 27 times, and he said he was on the plane 4 times. But when they checked the plane log, Bill Clinton, who is a very good friend of Epstein, he was on the plane about 27 or 28 times. So why did he say 4 times?
Now, of course, Trump supporters would say I'm being a bit too hard on him, that he was just asking questions. Well, in that case, I have a question. If someone did manage to kill Epstein while he was in a federal prison, wouldn't it have been more likely to be someone with a bit more power than a former president, like Bill Clinton? Maybe someone like the guy who was actually president in 2019 when Epstein died. I mean, I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Is like the way Trump is acting, it used to be, I feel like, the Occam's razor position to be like, oh, he's definitely in the Epstein files, without a doubt. There's no doubt about it. They have pictures, they have videos, they got him doing some ungodly criminal stuff. And Michael Wolff has validated that, by the way. He's seen some of the pictures. This is the Occam's razor position now. The Occam's razor position now is not just that Trump's in the Epstein files. Now it's, no, he's also, like, he was president when Epstein was offed. So who do you think made the call? Who do you think greenlit that? Tough one to figure out, right?
2020, Trump sends well wishes to Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, after a reporter asked him about her being on trial.
That's another dead giveaway, right? We reported, it was the Daily Beast had an article on this, I think. I forget where it originated from, but they were saying that Ghislaine Maxwell, Trump was considering pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell. He wanted to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell because he was afraid of the dirt that she had on him and that she would come clean with it. By the way, also, this just happened. Republicans shut down. Ghislaine Maxwell was like, I'll testify in front of Congress. Let me tell you. And they were like, nope. Ex-nay on the communications gay. We're done here. Everybody shut the fuck up. So here you have Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's right-hand woman, saying, I'll tell y'all whatever you want to hear. I'll give you all the information you want. And the Republicans are going, nope, you don't give us anything. Everybody shut up. Everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet. There's something going on here, bro.
According to journalist and Trump biographer Michael Wolff, Trump considered pardoning Maxwell because he worried about what she might say at her trial.
Yep.
4 years later, in 2024, just days before the election, Michael Wolff releases a series of audio recordings from interviews he did with Epstein in 2017. Yep. Listen to what Epstein says about his friendship with Trump.
So how do you know this?
That was closest friend.
Not only was he apparently his closest friend, but here's the big one. In June 2025, in the midst of their bitter feud, billionaire and former Trump ally and donor Elon Musk tweets, "Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files." Now, Musk has since deleted that tweet. Maybe he realized it doesn't look great to have funded someone you claim was associated with a pedophile. But still, Musk made this huge accusation about Trump. And then we all just moved on from it. We're only now talking about Epstein again because Trump's bumbling AG, after claiming in February that the Epstein client list was sitting on her desk, is now saying that list apparently doesn't even exist. And yet Trump, earlier this month, rushed to her defense and insisted we go back to not talking about his old pal, Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein.
The president should actually count himself lucky that the media and MAGA are only asking Bondi questions about Epstein, because the real person who should be answering questions about Epstein and his own decades-long friendship and association with a man described by a judge as the most infamous pedophile in American history and who died mysteriously in federal prison during his presidency is Donald Trump.
Now, by the way, Steve Bannon has done like over 15 hours of interviews with Jeffrey Epstein, and he refuses to release them. He's pretending like he's a crusader on this Epstein thing. He hasn't even released his own 15-plus hour interview with Epstein because he knows it implicates Trump. You also have Michael Wolff has explained now in detail. He got to see some of the dirt on Trump because he did this really long series of interviews with Epstein. And one of the pictures he was shown of Trump is Trump with 2 or 3 girls of a, quote, uncertain age, some of them topless, bent over, pointing at him and laughing, and Trump's got a stain on his pants. This is what Trump is afraid of. All this stuff actually coming out. All this stuff coming to light. He is in those files, for sure. Everybody knows he's in those files. He was best friends with Epstein for a decade. And so now that's why he's so aggressive with this. That's why he's berating his own followers. That's why he's saying, Obama, this is a rigged deal. This is rigged. Obama wrote it. Hillary Clinton wrote it. Hillary Clinton wrote the Epstein files and somehow put her husband in there multiple times. Like, what? This was, many people on the right cared about this, talked about this. And now you have people on the left caring about it and talking about it as well. And the people on the right, the more honest ones will still talk about it and still try to get to the bottom of it. But there has been this willful blindness. I saw this with Alex Jones going, in my deep research, I didn't see any dirt on Trump with the Epstein stuff. What are you talking about? You want to talk about willful blindness? It's amazing. You talk to anybody on the left and they'll go, of course, yeah, Bill Clinton's in the Epstein files, duh. But you talk to anybody on the right and watch them twist themselves into pretzels to try to pretend like Trump's not in there. And that's where you see this thing of, blame Pam Bondi, blame Dan Bongino, blame Kash Patel. As Tim Dillon said, Trump's not releasing the files because he knows they'll kill him if he... No, he's in those shits. What is it with the willful blindness in regards to Trump? But hopefully Trump overreaching now is going to wake up some of them, but I don't know. MAGA media already bent the knee and is facilitating the cover-up. So we'll see in terms of they're not going anywhere, but the base, maybe some in the base might go away. All the soft support, all the independent support, that's got to go away at this point. But, yeah, they got a long history, bro. They got a long history. And final point that I want to make here, look at this. You know it's not good when there's an entire Wikipedia page dedicated to your sexual misconduct allegations. Literally over 25 allegations. And these things run the fucking gamut, bro. Also, all sorts of, rape, sexual assault, sexual harassment, non-consensual kissing or groping by at least 25 women since the 1970s. E. Jean Carroll said that she was raped by Trump in a department store in 1995 or 1996. When you have the guy on tape saying he grabs women by the pussy, quote, I don't even wait. He doesn't wait for what? He doesn't wait for consent. Obviously, this guy's got issues. This guy's got demons. This guy's got, things in his closet that he's trying to hide there. So, wake up, y'all. Wake up. There's a reason he's panicking about it, because he is all over those Epstein files, and it might even be worse than that. He might even be the one who was responsible for offing Epstein. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.